Well, here we are, and that's Glenn. Okay. And Joseph Pavlak. Oh, there's some deer. Some deer running. There's 3 deer. Okay. Joseph Pavlak's right over there. See this little indentation right there? That's where his wooden casket that's collapsed. That's where he's buried. Here in 2018, you have a Ford Escape. Back in 1914, when he died, this would be a fantasy. 100 years from now, no one knows what sort of fantasy would exist that a vehicle that you could drive. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is Joseph Pavlak is next to where this cross is. He's right there. Okay? I can see it's pretty much where he's at. Let's say his head would be there. His shoulders would be here. There's the outline of his body. Okay, there would be his legs. About there. Right about here. And I would say this would be the ending of where he would be. Right about there. Also, Pavlak is my ancestor. George Rubin died in 1979 over there. He did not know who his father was because Julia Rimbalowski and her brother Edward and the other sister, Mary Gertrude Rimbalowski, okay, did not, for whatever reason, tell George H. Rubin, which is George Harry Rubin. Now, George H., I'm not too sure about Harry, is named after George H. Hoyt. That's Lena Rimbalowski / Rubin, husband. Now, Lena Rimbalowski Hoyt, her nieces would be Julia, Edward, and Mary Gertrude Rimbalowski. And their first cousin is Joseph Pavlak because their parents is Paul Rimbalowski and Paulina Pavlak. Well, Joseph Pavlak's parents, okay, is also Paul, but Pavlak, and Josephine Korikowski, which earlier it's Korolikovski. That's that mausoleum sort of thing that's right there. That's where the Korikowskis are buried, which I believe that's his mother's spelling. No stone. Matter of fact, in 1998, when I was trying to scuff Julia's marriage, it was in 2001 when I found out about Joseph Pavlak, who has no stone, who's buried right here. Right behind here is the Rimbalowski. Not related. They're from the Austria part of Poland. There's 3 empires: Russia, Germany, Austria. And this Rimbalowski, which is Rimbalowski, that's his spelling, right where Joseph Pavlak is, which is right there. It's buried right there with no stone. Right there. Right there. All these years, I said, well, geez, there's a Rimbalowski. Not knowing that R-U-B-E-N, R-U-B-I-N, R-E-U-B-I-N is really Rimbalowski. But I knew this in 2001. I brought my mother here. And now she's gone. August 18th, 2017. The age of 73. Which realistically, she died July 27th when she had a stroke at between 5:15 and 5:30. She had the stroke on July 27th, 2018. When we brought her to the hospital, which is right over there, St. Luke's, after the procedure, she did not regain blood flow from the stroke, and the clot did its course and prevented blood flow, which prevented her from using the rest of her body. Brain functioning, she couldn't breathe, she couldn't eat, she couldn't swallow, she couldn't move her right side, she couldn't go to the bathroom, okay, she couldn't get up, okay. When you have a stroke, you die, more than likely, in my mother's condition. So this is where Joseph Pavlak is. And her grandchild, which is George H. Rubin's daughter, is Mary Rose Rubin Brown / Tallman, because I was down in Florida and her boyfriend's Raymond Tallman. I was down there between 93 and 95. I saw her in 94 and 95 and I came back home. But she's interred there in the mausoleum, right? Go through this corridor straight in the middle, all the way, and take a right. Don't go all the way to the end, but somewhere in the middle. So go all the way down the corridor, comes to a T, you take a right, and right above there is where she's at. She's George H. Rubin's daughter and Joseph Pavlak's granddaughter. My grandmother, Alma Rubin, which is / Pavlak, okay, but Rubin means Rimbalowski, but she's descendant, my grandmother, from the Pavlak. Their first cousins, Joseph Pavlak's first cousins, is the Rubin-Rimbalowski connection. But they use Rubin, which is realistically what that spelling is, their Rimbalowski for their name. But they use not Rimbalowski, they use Rubin. But their real name is Pavlak, P-A-W-L-A-K. Now, in another parish, Sumergora, in province of Posen, in the 1st district that I call it. It's Witchawek, 1st district, W-A-J something. I have to look it up again. But in the 1st district there I call it. The 3rd is where Glauco is. I call the 3rd district Glauco because the 2nd one is where Junico is, and Millstone is in the 4th. That's where the Chickchocks and Skrillex are. And Joseph Pavlak had, her name is Frances Chickchock, and Francis Chickchock, Skrillex I called him. The name was S-C-H-I-L-E-R, and they Americanized it from the Polish one. They're buried over in there. She was the first. She lived on Bryant Ave, and the Barnes is where the Rubins lived, where Joseph Pavlak lived with the Rimbalowskis / Rubins. And Joseph Pavlak decided, well, we'll have her as the midwife from the province of Posen. So that proves beyond a doubt that Joseph Pavlak is in the province of Posen, because he picked a woman who was from the province of Posen to be the midwife to his child. And the Rubins, which you have Ann Taldy, who's buried over there, R-E-U-B-I-N is the stone. And Jacob and William is there. Okay. Now Paul, who's the father of Julia, who's over there, which is Julia Rubin / Rimbalowski Pazinski. Their brother's Paul, who's buried over probably, I think, either Glauco or up near Cerimo in the 1st district there. He also have Luco, L-U-K-O-W-O, but according to what I've discovered from the pastorist, L-U-B-O-W-O, in 1886 is where Julia and Mary Rimbalowski left to come here. And it says 1886 in City Rectory, so somehow they're near Glauco in Lobulo. But for Julia and Joseph Pavlak, now I have my answers. But I don't have my mother at the age of 73. I have this person and Julia, but I don't have my mother at 73. In 2001, I drove right down here with my mother with the Ford Explorer. Went this way and out and told her this is where Joseph Pavlak is. Matter of fact, I got her on videotape. Now you got a cell phone, it's 4K. You don't need no videotape no more. But you have Anne, who died in 1898, and Jacob, who died in 1898, buried over St. Joseph. William Rubin, who died in 1890. Okay, Lena Rubin Rimbalowski Hoyt died in 1925. Okay, they're all over at St. Joseph. Nellie's, according to what the paper said in 1898, is in France, because the mother was from France, and Taldi, T-E-D-A-L-D-I, Rimbalowski. I don't know if she married between 1835 and 1839. She's from France in the province of Posen, but she's from France. Nellie's in France. Ella, A-D-E-L-L-A, Rimbalowski, they called her Morvage, M-O-R-V-A-G-E. Well, she left before Joseph Pavlak came here in 1893. She left, in the late 1870s to Bay City, Michigan. And her spellings for her husband is John, J-A-C-H-I-M-O-W-I-C-Z. Now, what does all have to do with Joseph Pavlak? Well, Joseph Pavlak's mother is Paulina Pavlak. Okay, and Julia Rubin Rimbalowski, well, her mother Her father, no, her mother is Paulina Pawlak, and Joseph Pawlak and Julia Rembolowski's mother is Paulina Pawlak, our brother and sister.